Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks continues his MAGA-friendly pivot. This time he took to X to write up a very enlightened centrism-y post. So I'm going to read that to you, and I'm going to explain why the post is wrong. The left thinks the right is racist, sexist, etc. Hence the problem is the right wing hates us. The right thinks the left are constantly scolding them and judging them, etc. Hence the problem is the left wing hates us. But they're both wrong. The real problem is hate itself. The act of hating is what's leading us down a dark road. We are not each other's opponents. Hate is. But this means the right wing has to stop attacking people for being trans, Muslim, etc. And the left has to stop attacking people just for disagreeing with them. Can we do that? Okay, so what you can see there that he's doing is he's creating a false equivalence. He's saying, well, both sides are hateful. The left hates the right just for being the right, for having their political identity, and the right hates transgender people and Muslims and some other groups of people. So first off, what is the kernel of truth in what he's saying? The kernel of truth is that, yes, people on the left and people on the right both are hateful, or they both can be. There is hate on the left, there is hate on the right. And also there are people who just have hatred that's generally independent of their political views. But when we talk about political hatred, we're talking about really different things on the left and on the right. And my main critique of what Cenk Uygur is saying here is that, he's doing this enlightened centrism thing, and it's fine to be a centrist. It's fine to have a take that is both the left and the right are bad. But you must, if you're being honest, point out that the right has it far worse, that the right's problem is much more severe. I will say to you that the left has plenty of hateful tendencies, but I will not say to you that the left is more hateful or equally as hateful as the right. So, yeah, his point about left-wingers hating right-wingers just for being right-wingers is sometimes accurate. There are sometimes leftists who will be hateful towards wealthy people. But notice, when their hatred is there, it's usually in service of a policy goal that is generally equitable, saying, hey, in our view, the uber wealthy have been hoarding wealth for decades, and we need to do something about that. We need to raise taxes on them. And in fact, sometimes they'll point out that if we raise taxes on them, that will spare them a violent revolution. It will spare them a Luigi Mangione attack. The right, on the other hand, is often hateful simply for the sake of being hateful. Go on to X/Twitter and see what it's become. Go on the right side of it. I mean, you will see posts just attacking the concept of interracial marriage, getting 20,000, 30,000, 70,000 likes. I mean, and I guess some of those could just be bots. But really, this is what the right has become. This is what their hatred is. And it's not in service of a broader, more just policy goal like expanding access to healthcare, expanding access to education, or creating a more equitable tax system. It's in service of just saying, we don't like people who look different from us. And that is an entirely different kind of hatred than what you normally see on the left. The left does have a tendency to be smug, to be snobs, and the right does too. Go see my old videos. Let's talk about liberal snobbery versus let's talk about conservative snobbery. I've made videos talking about the problems with the left, but I will never for 1 second lie to you and say that the left is equally as bad as the right or that the left is worse than the right. And the fact that Cenk Uygur did not include this disclaimer here just shows that he's not really doing things right. He's not really making this pivot in the most effective way. Right-wingers are going to see that tweet and be like, look, even left-wing fire breather Cenk Uygur agrees that the left is hateful. The left is so wrong that they've turned off Cenk Uygur from them with their bigotry and their hatred. And of course, the left sees that and says, hey, that's a false equivalence. And I'm not even really a true leftist. I'm more like just slightly left of center. And I can say, well, this is a load of malarkey. This is a totally false post that's going to mislead people into thinking, well, okay, I guess the right and the left are both just bad. It is not a wash. Both sides have their problems. One side has far worse problems. So you know what? I'll make a deal with you centrist types. You can do enlightened centrism. You can say both sides are bad, but you have to always include the disclaimer that the right is still worse. That's the deal we have to make, because it's simply the only conclusion that is logical. It's the only honest way of framing things. Yes, the right has lots of problems. The left has lots of problems. The right is worse. Republican politicians in general are worse. I mean, we talk about like influence of big money. Republicans are basically 100% bought off by corporations. Democrats are roughly 85 to 90% bought off by corporations. That's, just the reality of it. If we look at the plain statistics and donations and how things work in Washington, D.C. But yeah, Cenk, you're not really doing yourself a service with this tweet. I've heard a lot of theories like, oh, he realized that TYT was hemorrhaging viewers after Trump won on November 5th. I haven't really had my eye on how many viewers TYT gets, so I'm not going to speculate into Cenk's motives. Those types of things are certainly possible, but I'm not going to treat it as a certainty. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the network ends up 2 years from now. Will they be a full-on Republican propaganda network? Will they still be center-left? Will they have gone enlightened centrist? I don't know, but I understand a lot of people who are saying that Cenk Uygur is a fake progressive because of this tweet and because of other tweets like that. And his appearance with Charlie Kirk for a Turning Point USA event where he just totally bent over backwards to appease Charlie Kirk and the MAGA crowd. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that this is a wise move from Cenk Uygur? Do you think that this will help win over people on the right and get them to support things like universal health care or raising wages or just higher taxes on the wealthy? Or will it just lead people on the right to say, well, looks like we won again? It looks like, to me, there's a little bit of, if you can't beat them, join them. And Cenk Uygur's not fully joined them yet, but he is capitulating pretty darn hard, and it's sad to see. So yeah, let me know what you could think in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you in the next video.